Coming up on this week's episode of Punt It Long, a crucial night in Scotland's top flight, another TalkSport pundit features on this week's shoe Bellend, and the usual chat about Dunfermline Athletic Football Club. There's only 3 topics this episode, apologies for that, but enjoy nonetheless. December's always a crucial month for teams no matter what league you're in, or whether that's the promotion battle, or in this case the title/European qualifying spots, or down at the bottom with the relegation, or in this case the playoffs. So we're looking towards tonight's games, which as you're watching this will have either been played, are away to be played, or are currently undergoing. So we're obviously going to look at them in whole, and I'm going to pick 3 from tonight's games in the Scottish Premiership. You can't deny that at this point in this season that these kind of fixtures are vital for teams depending on different team circumstances, and we've certainly got a lot of different kind of things happening in the Scottish Premiership just now that could prove vital with these fixtures coming in right now tonight. So my first one is Dundee versus Hamilton down the bottom. My second one is Rangers versus Aberdeen. For obvious reasons, it's always a big fixture, that one. And then my third choice is Hibs versus St Mirren. Dundee versus Hamilton is a massive game down the bottom of the league just now. You kind of didn't really expect Dundee to have started off as horrendously as they have, but of course now they're in that position. They're down with St Mirren kind of being the bottom 2 clubs, so they really kind of need to kickstart their season, and it is kind of these games that will define whether they're doomed for relegation this season or whether they can actually start battling and getting up towards where Hamilton currently are. And they're not in too great a position themselves, but they currently sit above any of the relegation places, and I'm pretty sure if you asked any Dundee fan, they would take that with open arms at this point in the season, considering where they are and where they were hoping to be at this point in the season. I'm assuming they would have hoped to be pushing for top 6 at least, but they find themselves either rooted to the bottom of the league or just trying to push into the relegation playoff places, which isn't ideal for them, and it certainly isn't ideal for Hamilton either, that if Dundee win this, which would prove vital for them, it could be almost season derailing for Hamilton in terms of if they get a win here, Dundee that is, it could really show Hamilton that they're actually not up to the quality of the Premiership anymore, and it could really kind of affect them mentally, and that is a thing that Hamilton will need to kind of manage in this game, and it's a thing that will need to kind of push them through so that they can get the result in this game. So I've chosen that one because it's more of a bottom of the table kind of fixture for both teams, and they really need to kind of start picking up the points if they're going to get anywhere this season. My second fixture, Rangers versus Aberdeen, as I said, it's always a massive fixture. There's always a story behind this one, and it's always got a bit of sort of rivalry about it, just without actually being a rivalry. In recent years, Aberdeen have been kind of the second best in Scotland, whilst Rangers have been kind of up in arms in terms of their managers, or obviously when they were down in the lower leagues, Aberdeen kind of took over the mantelpiece of being Rangers, and obviously that meant that they were finishing second, getting European spots, challenging Celtic in some seasons. Obviously they're now finishing kind of second place in many cup competitions, getting to finals and playing Celtic themselves, whereas Rangers are kind of falling short at certain bits. And now Aberdeen are kind of finding themselves in a bit of limbo for the first time since Rangers really came back up to the Premiership, and before then Aberdeen are now kind of finding themselves trying to push for more European spots, considering their start to the season hasn't exactly been great on league duty. And Rangers themselves, well, they currently sit top of the league as I'm filming this video, and for them to get a win tonight at Ibrox would really put the even more pressure on Celtic. Of course, the game at the end of the month between Rangers and Celtic is going to be a massive indicator in what's going to happen in this sort of title race, and my gut feeling is that Celtic will still come out on top in this sort of title race, and I don't think many people will disagree with me on that one. But for this game tonight, it's a massive game for Aberdeen to try and push themselves back up into the European places where I assume they still really think they should be. And for Rangers, is to keep that pressure on Celtic. The longer they can keep the pressure on Celtic up the top of the league, the more it could slightly try and play on Celtic's mindset and psyche going into every single game, knowing that they have to pick up a win in order to keep up the pace with Rangers at the top of the league. It's a big ask for anyone to overtake Celtic at this point, considering how dominant they have been, but if Rangers can do it, then it'll be a massive step forward for them. And the last game I picked was Hibs versus St Mirren. Now, we all know what Hibs have done this season, and St Mirren themselves. Hibs have started off the season in a similar kind of vein to Aberdeen, and if you look at it, it's actually a worse start to the season than Aberdeen, so they'll be looking at it thinking we need to start picking up points sometime soon, and if it doesn't start happening for them, it could be a long hard season for any Hibees fans. And if you'd asked me before the season, well, I predicted them to finish 3rd, and they're currently sitting 8th in the league, and no wins in the last 6 games, and barely scoring a goal to save themselves. And what I kind of thought about Hibs was that they were always a very high scoring team and a very entertaining team to watch, and it certainly has proven that in the last 2 months or so that they've really fallen off the rails in terms of that side of it. So a win here could really put them in good stead and actually send them back into the top 6, depending if results go their way. For the away side, St Mirren, they'll be looking to get a win here and close the gap on the team above them. They currently sit in the kind of 2 bottom spots. They're either going to be finishing the night on bottom spot, they could finish in the playoffs, and for them it's just to kind of build a bit of momentum and try and get a bit of a grip hold at the bottom of the league, and try and build, as I said, a bit of momentum to kind of push them forward in the league, because there's no doubt that coming up from the Championship, they've been the team out of them and Livingston to handle it the worst. And for St Mirren to get a win here, it could really affect Hibs for one thing, but it could really be a positive thing for St Mirren and their sort of mentality going into the rest of the season, especially the winter period, which is obviously a very busy period for any football team. My predictions for these games, I'm going to just predict the 3 that I've chosen. So the first one, Dundee versus Hamilton, I predict a 1-1 draw here. I don't think any team will come out knowing any different really. I think Dundee are probably the poorest side in the league so far this season, so I don't really expect much from them. And Hamilton, I just think they'll be glad to get a draw here and get out of it with not losing the game. Rangers versus Aberdeen, I do expect Rangers to get the win here, especially since it's at Ibrox. If it was at Pittodrie, I might think something different, but I think Rangers will get the win here, so I'll go for a Rangers win. And Hibs versus St Mirren, I'm actually going to plump for a home win here. I was maybe going to go for a St Mirren win there, but I think Hibs will finally get the grip hold of their season and start kick-starting their season once again after a turgid run of form of recent, so I think Hibs will get the win there. But I think we can all agree, it's definitely a tasty one tonight. It's that time of the week again where we do the part of the episode called Right, I'm sure we've all seen this by now. It's the Merseyside derby at the weekend, or it was just the weekend past there, and Liverpool score a 96-minute winner to win the Merseyside derby at Anfield, thanks to a Jordan Pickford howler. England's #1. But the thing that everyone chose to focus on in this one was Jurgen Klopp's, let's say, exuberant and passionate kind of celebration when the goal went in. And I think it's fair to say that TalkSport's Danny Mills wasn't a happy bunny. Roll the clip.
I think it's absolutely shocking what he does. Yeah. I mean, OK, go down the touchline a little bit, come out your technical area, celebrate with your staff on the bench. I don't have a problem with that at all. But to run into the middle of the pitch, I think it's disrespectful to the Everton.
Now, of course it's not normal to see a football manager run onto the pitch like that to score a goal and celebrate like he did. But come on, Danny, you boring Bellend. Cheer up, man. The guy's showing a fantastic amount of passion towards his team in a very high-octane moment. A 96-minute winner. We all know what that is about. Limbs and all that. Oh, that word. I loved it, and I'm pretty sure the vast majority of football fans appreciated it for what it was. A 96-minute winner in the Merseyside derby. But here's Danny Mills sitting here like, I think that's very disrespectful. Very, very disrespectful. Bore off, Danny. Tosser. Tosser. And as usual, I'm Punt long ago, full circling back to my team, Dunfermline. We all know how big the game was last weekend, and it was very vital for us considering it was a home game as well. But I would say that this game coming up this weekend against Partick Thistle at Firhill is an even bigger game, especially for the whole kind of don't want to send ourselves back to square one side of things. I'm going to make no bold predictions like I did last week for this one. If I had to make something, I'd go for 2-1, but there's a part of me that just fears this game, and I just don't want to put myself on the line and just say that we're going to go and 100% win it, because it's that type of thing that makes you look like an absolute idiot. So, I'm going to sit on the fence with this one and get a really sore arse whilst doing so, but it's fair to say that my nerves are relatively higher than they were last week going into this weekend's game. And that's it for this episode, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy, please give it a like. Comment down below anything you think about the Dunfermline game as well. Are you as nervous as I'm going to be going into this one? And also subscribe for more of this type of content. And until the next video, which will be another episode of my thoughts on tomorrow, where I talk about the Ballon d'Or winner Luka Modric. I'll see you then. Cheers, guys.